All right. Let's turn the music down. Monster Cat hype. All right, we got Dream versus Solar coming up next. I'm just trying to get the lobbies and stuff made in a second. But yeah, a lot of people are just shocked that Beyond lost 2-0. I mean, Dreams. I tried to tell you guys before we got into it. Like I was when we saw him at the VSL finals. I was like, Dream. Like that's an old name. Is he even still playing StarCraft? But yeah, he looked fantastic then. He looked fantastic today, and we're gonna get to see just a little bit more of him as he goes in to fight against Solar here in the round of 8. I'm gonna catch these guys though, because if you guys don't know, Koreans are pretty quick to just go make their own games and start without casters, even if they don't mean to. It's like built into their system. It's like never disrespect intended. I always, you guys have no idea how many sappy messages I've gotten from Solar where he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to start. I forgot. I'm so sorry." Like, so I gotta catch these guys real quick. Got those invites going. All right. All right. Whirlwind is gonna be the first map in this best of 3. And I'm just trying to get the players in here. There we go. Solar's finally back from, I guess, his little bit of an AFK. SC2 Dan says, do you release replays for subscribers? Yeah, from almost every tournament we cast, and only for subscribers. Again, I'd like to kindly thank you guys for joining me this morning. Solar says he needs just a minute. That's totally fine. We're trying to get Dream still in the lobby anyway, so this might be a few minutes before we can get this party started. Let's see, did I miss any subs? I probably missed subs. I've been so bad with this recently. Lego Master 666, thank you for the 11-month resub, matched by his brother from another mother, the Optical Speed, also resubbing for 11 months. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna do a little special thing here, Devin Wolf. If you don't like your name being on the overlay, I'm so sorry. It's gonna happen. Devin Wolf. Whoops, one word. What a guy. You can. There we go. Thank you again for those bits. I let Zombie Grub know. She's in our Uber on the way to Nation Wars, and she says, thank you very much as well. And I quote, "Aw, that's really nice of him." But, Dream, please join the lobby, man. I guess I'll make a tweet while we wait. Update information and all that good stuff. Look at me, pretending like I do social media for a living or something. Oh, he's finally here. Dream. Okay. Dream versus Solar coming up. Solar saying Terran Imba in chat. I love it. Alright. TvZ. TvZ, boys and girls. TvZ that might actually be a mech TvZ, by the way. This is Disruptor Russia. Chances play Rifkin in a 4v4, and God, he was Garbo. Probably. 99% of the time, if I'm playing team games, it's because I'm actually like on a call and just trying to keep my mind busy by fidgeting. So, if I was playing with you, I sincerely apologize. If I played against you, well, congrats on your easy free win. We are getting into game number 2. Actually, I will say the only thing I've actually really enjoyed taking 2v2s semi-seriously. I'm getting that itch again, guys. It's like once every 2 to 3 months, we host a 2v2 tournament on BaseTradeTV. I'm getting that itch. Maybe we'll make it happen soon. But game number 1 in a brand new best of 3. We are currently in the round of 8 for Make Korea Great Again number 4. This is the very last edition of Make Korea Great Again. We'll talk more on that as we get closer to the finals. But spawning in the top right side, he is going to be the pool slapping down in blue Zerg player Solar. We'll talk more on that in a second. It's weird. Top left is going to be none other than Dream. But this is weird for me. Solar to go for a pool first is actually not so weird in of itself. Koreans, foreigners, it doesn't matter who you are, you're scared against Reapers. So we've been seeing a lot of Zerg players just, I guess, kind of concede to say, yeah, I'm going to go pool first. It'll just be like the safest way to do things. But this is a 4-player map. This is Whirlwind. This is like the one map Reapers aren't going to happen, because even if they did, even if Dream was crazy enough to play the gamble and guess that you were in the top right, you still have a terrible ramp and not a great engagement area for Reapers. So for Solar, I mean, like, the other part of this, like, other than the Reaper aspect, is you get a couple lings out early. He's going to luck out. He's going to really luck out by scouting Dream's base first. He'll send those 2 lings across the map. He may take a sneaky path. I'm not sure. But either way, he wants to get on top of that SCV and kill it before it completes the command center, thus stalling it out. He takes a 3rd base pretty quickly, too, while this goes on. And, of course, a lot of this has been paired with gas. Not a totally gasless build out of Solar. But Dream's Reaper is going to be going the wrong direction, and he's not going to be at home. Oh, boy. This SCV might just get picked off, and that's going to sting just a little bit. Yeah. $22,000 goal. There will be a mega ramen cooking stream where the players will eat ramen out of Neeb's Kespa Cup. Yeah, I know, guys. This was kind of like a joke suggestion that we made into a real thing. I would love if we could make it happen. We asked Neeb if it was cool. He said, no, not a problem. And then, yeah, Scarlet and No Regrets said they'd be willing to do it. I'm sure we could convince the Koreans that are going to be staying in the house to join in. It'd be funny, but this is really annoying. Dream's actually not losing significant mining time off of this, but it's going to be noting a small dip. Small blip as SCVs start getting pulled around. But Solar ends up, yeah, ahead for this. Couple SCVs lost some mining. That was actually really great for how little of an investment those lings were. The third hatchery more than helps make up for the fact that he went pool first. I think Solar's in a great spot after this opening. Nothing too crazy to follow it up just yet, though. A live game for the 8 months in a row says, what's up, dog? Well, up dog is a smell that a lot of people tend to find kind of irritating, frankly. Thank you to No Grieve for the 150-bit cheer, too. Nice to have you join us. BaseTradeTV, are the previous winners not allowed to join the tournament anymore? If not, why no innovation? They're totally allowed to. It's just a matter of whether they want to. Innovation did sign up for this, but he didn't check in, so it may have been something where this morning he felt like playing, but then as night rolled around, he was tired or had other commitments. It happens. Part of being a tournament organizer is you just have to realize not everybody's going to show up all the time, always. Anyways, Reaper getting some shots off. This is some nice payback for having lost some of the SCVs earlier, but hardly crazy damage. It does confirm the 3rd, and I guess this actually goes hand in hand with that really nice Overlord scout. If Solar had scouted the wrong position first, that base may have been a little bit closer to Dream. If he had taken it over here, it would have been not so fun to defend. And of course, drops from the 3rd to the main are still a thing that I think everybody's worried about. But as we progress in the matchup, Solar is still only investing in Carapace. Lings are being made, but no Baneling Nest has been slapped down. Gas has been kind of light. There we go. I was really curious if he was going to go Banelings or not. Part of this is they were tweaked and changed. I don't think enough to really imbalance the game, but just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Banelings with speed now only get 5 health instead of 10 health, but even then the 10 health buff was still a pretty new feature, not something a lot of... I think there's no strategy built around having 10 health Banelings. It was just like a nice buff to have. Regardless of pretty big drop going down, unloading 2 full medevacs to the main. Now, this is not a situation where Solar doesn't know about this, but still might not be able to engage this too comfortably. He goes for a big surround. Dream decides to go back, picks up, and flies away. If he had got his back to the corner and only this area was Marines, and this area was the only surface area for the Lings, I think actually Dream sticks around, but he was a little bit away from that wall. He knew it too. He's going to pair this up with a 3rd medevac. This one's got a Cyclone in it. This is a really cool move we've been seeing people do. We saw a lot of this yesterday when we were casting with Zeph, but this Cyclone not only brings a ton of damage, it's really good at soaking those Banelings. And of course, sniping down the Banelings too. Now, these Banelings are not going to have speed, but they are going to be fighting on creep, so Dream does have to be careful of that. Stim should be more than enough to dance around it if that focus fire is good, and it's not so good. He picks off that first Baneling, but the second one got a very ripe hit in the middle of that army. Back at home, too, what's really kind of hurting him, but not devastating him, is the fact that those Overlords have had a lot of free scouting while this goes on. The reason, and a big part of why Solar's been in position to defend every one of these drops, he's seen it coming every single time. If Dream had invested in a Viking this game, I think he'd be very happy, and he'd be very content with the damage he possibly would have done. So now finally pushing back these Overlords, a little bit fed up with the fact that he had all his moves seen. Creep spread's not looking bad out of Solar. Centrifugal hooks finishing up shortly. Yeah, there's that +5 bonus life. No other changes other than to the carrier I think we're putting in the game, just some bug fixes. So everything else about Terran's pretty much the same as what you guys have seen over the last few weeks. Do need just a moment here for some water though, because solo casting's leaving me dry. Drop of the main, of course, is seen thanks to that creep tumor. Base down here to the 4th was a little bit greedy, let's be honest, so losing it is not a huge loss to Solar. But still sucks he wasn't able to get it up and running. I guess the creep block was a little bit of a deterrent to which base to take, so Dream is forced to take the one a little bit closer to Solar. This may be a good thing, this may be a bad thing, time will tell. Spire finishes up shortly. We'll have some mutas to help deal with the medevacs, but the Baneling count, it's doing pretty nice. Solar's not exactly at that point yet, but he's also very much the type of player to go like 50 Banelings deep, given the opportunity. So we'll see if that ends up happening. Nice surround on these Marines down here to the south, but the medevacs quickly pick up and fall away. Still, without those without the mutas, nothing to really chase down these medevacs. But as said, Spire finishes up here in just a moment. We can see it. He sees it too. Dream now knows what's up. Base up here to the top side, getting attacked a little bit. Kind of annoying, but pushed back. And 12 mutas on the way. Bizarro in chat says, freaking Stardew Valley. Before you know it, it's 6 a.m. Dude, that's how I feel casting StarCraft. But Stardew Valley was a very nice addiction to have for a time. Shout out to anybody who dug to like level infinity in the mines. That was actually a lot of fun. It was really stupid, but it was a lot of fun. Anyways, getting back on topic, though, we got weapon upgrades, not Carapace coming for these mutas. A little bit interesting. We've actually seen Carapace get prioritized by a few more players more recently. And I think part of this is because, A, take a little bit less damage from the Marines, but B, the Liberators already hit like a wet noodle. Even better when you got some armor for them. But Liberators, not going to be the big problem right now. Widow Mines are on those front lines. The Banelings don't get the hits they want. Solar Force threw a terrible choke, and that Liberator sets up in a nice position. More Banelings needed to push back. These Marines have picked up in that medevac. He wants to respond to the mutas instead. Nice pull back out of Solar, because that was not going to be a fight I think he wanted to take. But the medevac's focused in before it can load all of its cargo. Mule's getting dropped. This isn't looking good. GG's. Solar gonna take game number 1. Transitive properties, right? Beyond defeated by Dream. Solar defeating Dream makes Solar better than Beyond? Question mark. I don't know. It's gonna be Dream's map pick though for the next game, so we'll find out which map he wants to hop into. Again, urging and requesting you guys check out the Matcherino page, ! Matcherino in chat. I'm hoping we still have codes available. Somebody was reporting some bugs with the codes. Unfortunately, if there are any issues, we're casting at 5 a.m. So the guys who on the site are asleep. Zombie Grub, as I said earlier, she's like in a car on the way to Nation Wars. There's not a lot we can do to actually remedy if there's issues. So I hope the code's still working, and I hope you guys can throw in a couple extra bucks, but if it's not, we'll find a way around it. I was just trying to find what the next map out of Dream is going to be. I don't want to do a commercial break, but he is not responding. Oh, Newkirk. Okay, cool. I'm going to try and let him get me to host it, though, because it doesn't have a mod. Let me host, please. A mod. Yeah. Alright, we're going to remake for Newkirk. Get that WCS mod rolling. I really love the WCS Gameheart mod. Like the even if for nothing other than the SCV counter, I really truly do love having like the graphs and the resources lost and all that. But let's get these guys into the game. Boop boop boop. Strobel says, BaseTradeTV, thanks for the years of casting. Really appreciate the good and nearly daily work. Have a nice Christmas and New Year. You too, friend. I hope you have good holidays. Let's get these players in the player slots. I don't want to play against Solar. And here we go. Game number 2. I'm not sure what Dream was doing. He was spelling out Zerg fuck, but then stopped at the C. Excuse my language. That's kind of like the Koreans have that thing where they try and show like the middle finger, but it's really the peace sign. Like, it's such a cheesy thing to do. But 4,500 people tuning in today is fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you guys for joining me for some early morning StarCraft. Hope you're enjoying the show. We got a lot of good games still ahead of us, but this is game number 2. If you haven't seen the brackets, though, we got Zest fading off against Buell. We got Sue versus Patience, and Joxy versus either Gumio or Trust. At this point, we'll be casting both semifinals and the grand finals, so still 2 best-of-3s and a best-of-5 ahead of us. At the very least, maybe we catch a little bit more. Either way, game number 2. In the bottom right side of the round of 8, we've got the blue Zerg player, Solar. And in the bottom left, he's a bit of a barcode, but he's courteous enough to use his clan tag to let us know that it's Dream. Also, yeah, Dream had, people in chat joining us, like Dream had a phenomenal TvT just before this. He looked really good. For those who missed it, it's a little bit sad, but hopefully you'll be willing to go back to the VODs and check it out. Solar, on the other hand, though, obviously having commanding victory in the game, had really good reactions, and I think, for me, a lot of it goes back to the fact that his scouting was on point. Like, every time Dream tried to move out, Solar was ready to meet him. But, oh, looks like the bot may have frozen. Give me 1 sec here, guys, while I take a look at this. Oh, Discord. One sec. I might have to restart the bot. This should not lose your bets. I'm just disconnecting, reconnecting it. Hopefully that works. Sorry, because people were asking for the links and it just wasn't going through. Bots should be all good to go now. And I don't believe bets were disrupted. In fact, what are the bets after this? Solar with about 7,700 Partoofs on him. Dream with 3,794 on him. So if Solar wins the series, that's going to be the predicted winner by the chat. But I wouldn't give up on Dream just yet, guys. It was just a rough map to start off on, truthfully. Now, that being said, I think that for Solar's sake, well, he's not going to have to deal with mech. But if he did have to deal with mech, this would be a very different game. Second Barrack's going to say otherwise, though. I think this map is really good for mech, too. But, again, with him not going that direction, we'll put a pin in it for now. Now, as far as Solar goes, we saw Banelings, we saw Lings, we saw Mutas. Everything was, I'm going to say, standard coming out of him. Dream didn't have to fight against anything too crazy or too ridiculous. I am wondering if Solar can change that up, or if he's pretty okay playing standard. I mean, the control was good. We saw a little bit of awkwardness with the Banelings in that third, of course. But for the most part, I think, again, the Mutas were what really locked that game down. Reaper hops up to the main. Queen gonna get a couple more shots off. Pew, pew. Speed kicks in as well. He's gonna chase down this Reaper. Nicely done. Cleans that up. Falls back home. Whew. Well, not exactly a lot to discuss just yet, but we're gonna have that typical opening out of Terran. You get 2 barracks, get a lot of Marines, you get a couple of medevacs, fly across the map and try to do some damage. Solar actually manages to duck in, though, and chase off some mining. Disrupting even just a little bit in the mule time can certainly be annoying. But nothing too bad just yet. Looks like we did actually get a couple more people to use the match arena code, so they are not broken. Means we've got a few still left, guys. $282 raised. I would very much love for that number to say 300 at the very least for these awesome Koreans. But I guess to talk about the tournament itself, you know, we planned to do this for only 4 weeks. This wasn't supposed to be a weekly tournament that was going to turn into like a year-long thing. And with only 4 weeks, you know, the first week we raised 420 something, next week was 430 something, then 2,300. I mean, if we finish this on 300 even, I'd be very happy. But I do want to point out that part of the announcement, I'll give you a little bit of the preview now, is that we will be continuing a variation of this tournament into 2017. There's somebody who has picked up the tournament. I told you guys, like, my biggest goal for this was if we could get viewers at this time zone, if we could get players to play, and more importantly, some prize money for them to play for, like, this is something I would like to quote-unquote sell to somebody. And we did sell it to somebody. And you're not gonna, this is like clickbait time now. You're never gonna guess who it was. But you'll be very, I think, happy, because this is good news coming at the end of the stream. Basically what I'm gonna say. Anyways, we got the Lings looking to jump on top of the Marines. Dream's going to quickly say nope, try and get out of there. It takes a lot of damage on one of those medevacs, though. Almost too much damage on that medevac, though, before the fight even begins. Overlord's going to get pushed back, too. Not going to get killed, but still annoying. Stuck on 2 bases back at home. Production with 3 extra barracks says this might stay on 2 bases at that. Dream looking to turn this game into a bit of a... well, actually, I take that back. 3rd command center. What am I saying? This was in production. Forget what I was saying. I thought he was going to go super all in with this. And I was going to say, that's not a bad idea, but Newkirk's pretty big, so it might have been a bad idea. But none of that matters, because I didn't see the command center or the production tab. I just saw the 3 extra barracks getting slapped down. No big deal over here. Drop of the main goes down. Spore Crawler's ready for detection. It's going to be a little bit of a nuisance at most, and as we see, that medevac even takes 1 shot from the Spore Crawler. Now it's on 20 health. 2 shots from these queens. That should go down pretty quick. Boom. Cleaning this up is going to be a lot of peace of mind. Nice transfuses as well. Not bad at all. Marines looking to break down the rocks on the top side. Solar had so diligently taken down to make sure run-bys wouldn't be a problem, but unfortunately, run-bys may still be a problem. Banelings are out, though. They don't have speed. Can hold them in place with the Lings, use the Banelings to finish them off. Medevac also still very low, pushed back to the north. 3rd base lands out of Dream back at home. +1 finishes up shortly too for the weapons, so Dream not exactly getting a lot done with these drops, but not doing too bad back at home on the macro game. I thought this was going to be really bad if it was still 2 bases, but again, corrected myself, I was wrong. As the 4th base of Solar gets taken down the middle, I do want to point out that despite Dream's aggression, he hasn't actually cleaned up that much creep. You know, tearing down rocks and picking up a queen, I think so far is pretty much all he's managed to accomplish. That's a bit unfortunate, because Solar's map control is already looking fantastic. And going back on that last game, really just emphasizing knowing every angle of attack, knowing where his opponent was coming from. All of these were reasons that Solar took little to almost no damage from Dream. So I think that it's going to play into that same sort of effect again. He's going to see these attacks coming. He's not going to have to worry about positioning himself, because he'll know where to go. Transfuse on that queen keeps it alive. Tries to push back that medevac. And looks like dump drops don't get scouted. They were on the edge of creep. Why does everybody assume that the sponsor I would have picked up was Pornhub? Like, to be 100% transparent, and I know you're gonna roll my eye, you're all gonna roll your eyes and be like, yeah, right, Rifkin, I don't use Pornhub. I'm not interested in it, and I'm not interested in them as sponsors either. Although I will say, from what I've seen, they've been super chill sponsors and really awesome for the people they've been working with. But this is like the 3rd thing I've kind of hinted at, and everyone's like jumping to Pornhub. I don't know why that's the go-to. Anyways, Woodemine's get some pretty fantastic shots. Drop up here on the top right. It's going to pick up a couple of mutas. Trade out really well. Drones go down with it too, but not too many. Solar last game I think worked really well, because he came out with 12 mutas strong, and a bit of a surprise at that. Losing 2 right off the bat is going to take away from those numbers and really hurt him. Down to 8. Oh, this Woodemine's about to reload. It's a little bit awkward, because that's where all the Banelings are right now, but he does bait those out, and rather nicely so. It's not Blizzard, guys. Calm down. Quick guess it. I'll tell you in the finals. I'm not going to tell you before the finals. Calm your guesses, chat. This wasn't meant to be bait. This was just meant to be like, look, good news is coming in an hour or so. Anyways, as the Lings continue to dart around the north side of the map, Baneling's finishing up over here for Solar. He might just actually catch Dream from behind. I'm not sure if he's looking to aim these into the mineral line. I mean, that's such a large amount of Lings. He may just bust through the door if there is a door up and then run through with the Lings. Or if he's coming from a back attack. But looks like the mutas head towards the main. Dream's spending time cleaning up creep. So this buys Solar a lot of time, actually. Again, another one of the benefits, the hidden benefits of those creep tumors. But he rolls in with the Banelings and the Lings. He's going to try and, I guess, wipe out the third base, frankly. Liberators chase back the Mutalisks. Widowmines get good hits. Dream weathers the storm, and he doesn't take much damage. And Solar finds himself at a bit of a loss. Kind of got to be scratching his head like, wow, I really thought with Mutas, Banelings, and Zerglings all catching my opponent off guard, I would have gotten so much more. But he does manage to rack up a couple more kills towards the end, bringing it up from like 4 to suddenly 16 SCVs killed. This base being built is going to be annoying. That should be dealt with. He actually goes to cancel the base rather than kill the SCV. Meanwhile, the Mutalisk caught down here. The South push back once again. Liberators really don't do that much damage to air anymore, but still, the splash is scary, and that's a big part of why Solar had to disengage earlier. But now he finds himself in the middle of the map with the support of his Lings and Banelings, so he's going to push on in. Takes a pretty big hit for those Liberators, falls back. Mutas got scary. Mutas got dead. And of course, the Banelings and Lings are not enough. Solar can fight this on creep, but I don't think he can fight it off creep, and he knows it too. Transfuses even went into the Mutas, which should ideally regenerate pretty quickly, but not going to happen this game. Oh, not with that amount of pressure that Dream's been putting on him, but still, nonetheless, Solar keeps a majority of his important units alive. The Banelings don't get picked off by the Widowmines, and the Mutalisks live to fight another day. The doors are up. Sorry, Lings. Looks like a drop made to the main while this goes on. Widowmine's going to pop off. It'll scum back down one of the Marines, but Mutalisks die for this. Solar has bled out. Whoops, sorry, wrong thing there. Quite a few Mutas this game. 9 in total have died. The command center finishes up too. Didn't have to float up and move anything over. Oh, I hate chat today. This is the last time I try to hint at good news for you guys. Y'all ruined it. No, nobody gets good news. We're just gonna turn this tournament around and go home. Unloading that medevac, he knows it's gonna go down, so not too bad. Nice big set of Solar. Runs past the army though, dives through. The Banelings get stuck on the backside, but the Lings manage to make it through to the mineral line. Unfortunately though, there's a lot of Widowmines and Marines waiting for him, so the door goes up. He's got to run away with the Lings. They don't have a chance to get anything done. He's still making more Lings behind this though, and I do want to note that while Solar is moving on to Hive Tech, I think he's fighting pretty well on Lair. I would have loved to have seen Infestors come out and combo this, a couple of fungal growths, but as the Hive Tech finishes up, that leads towards things like Broodlords, that leads towards things like Ultralisks, and we'll see how Solar can play out that late game. But right now, these Lings being used a little bit frivolously, die on their way out. Mutalisks also going to be looking for some... Oh my god, that was a pretty good Widowmine hit. Looking for things to pick off here in the middle of the map with that Overseer. It's just a little bit slow to the party. It's a bit awkward over there. Meanwhile, upgrades for Dream. You know, he's already got the +3 weapons. Going to finish up in that armor, but Banelings are always on the wrong side of this fight. They find a huge cluster of Widowmines at the very end, so that's pretty nice to see. But as you guys may have noticed, the Marauder count was what was on that front line, and kind of stonewalled into it with all those Banelings. Felt really bad, man. But Corruptor's coming out. I don't think this is so much for Broodlords just yet. I think the emphasis is still going to be on Ultralisks, but having a couple Corruptors out to pick off things like Liberators, to sit above the medevacs, they can take the hits, they can deal some damage. I like having a couple Corruptors on the field. Top side, though, base gets taken out of Solar. This is going to get dropped a little bit awkwardly, so it might have to get canceled. Drop goes off on the main, too, but not going to pick off that Ultralisk Cavern. However, will confirm the Hive Tech timing. It's the first time he sees that Hive Tech, by the way. Spawning pool wiggling and jiggling. I think he knows Adrenal Glands are on deck. Middle of the map gets a bit of a massacre as Solar does force Dream to back away once again. Solar's base canceled as expected. Ultralisks on deck. And this game goes on to minute 14. Planetary Fortress is going to be hard to break, not without using a lot of Banelings. And I think if Solar was really far ahead in income, if he had that 5th super early and moving on to his 6th even, I think that's where you've got the money to afford throwing away Banelings into a planetary, but not going to be worth it. And I think that's a big part of why he's been playing this. This one Ling, I didn't realize had bought a little bit of time over here. We got 3 missile turrets coming down to stop Mutas from running around the map too. Lings are going to be what runs into that base, kill those SCVs. Middle of the map swing, okay, nice trades out of Solar. Baneling hits are pretty good, but these Lings are going to kill a lot of workers as they try to retreat from that 3rd base. Baneling's going to roll in over here, and this SCVs, there's only about 10 or 12 in total, but looks like the hits won't be too bad. Takes those off, falls back home. Another big fight going down this side. Liberator setting up. Bailey's an Ultralisk trying to get on top of the Marines. If the Marines go down, not a lot left to stop the Corruptors and the Mutalisks. And Solar may have just run away with this game. There was a lot of really big damage done on very important units while hitting the economy simultaneously. Down almost 40 supply. Dream's going to hold on for his life. But these Liberators are picking off a Baneling or two. They're not exactly killing the Ultralisks. Ultralisks, by the way, do have chitinous plating, but not +3 armor. Still, though, going to be unkillable beasts. Was that 6 armor? Not too shabby. I guess the mute account did get thinned out a decent amount, but as we can see here, it's the Ling Floods behind this with their Adrenal Glands and their +3 weapon upgrades. They're kind of avoiding the planetary. As we can see, they still get wrecked if they run into it, so it feels a little bit awkward. A little bit of a waster out of Solar, but still the mute is snowballing through, picking off these Widow Mines, or almost picking off the Widow Mines. Okay, that didn't quite get the hit that I thought it was going to get. But Bantley's being morphed in directly on top of Dream's base. Solar looking to scrap this out for that. GG finally going down. And he takes a 2-0. And knocking Dream out of the tournament. This is cool because Dream, again, like Dream beat Beyond. Solar beats Dream. I guess Solar's the best? Question mark. Thank you to Additional Pylon for the $5.31. Time for 300. Yeah. That brings up the prize pool to 300. Yeah, 301 actually, to be precise. That's awesome. Thank you guys for using that code. Thank you for getting there on that prize pool and helping us get this as big as we can for them's Koreans. But Solar's going to advance on to the semifinals. He won't have an opponent for a little bit of time. Updating though, Biol actually beat Zest, so Biol's going to be in that top 4. Of course, top 4 players get money, so Solar and Biol, 2 Zergs, will be the first ones to reach the semifinals. I thought we would have a match to cast, but this means we're going to have to wait a little bit of time. We have Gumiho play against Joxi, so Solar's going to have to play another TvZ against either Joxi or Gumiho. Biol waits to fight against either Sue or Patience, so either ZVZ or ZVP up there. But looks like we're going to have a little bit of extra time, so I'm going to play our fundraiser video. Yeah, I'm going to play our fundraiser video, then I'm going to take us to a commercial break. So I hope you guys will stick around for more. If I had to guess, we're probably going to be sitting around 10 minutes of downtime or so. So do stick around, guys. But we'll be back in just a little bit. Here's the thing here. We'll screen capture this. Look at this technology. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Of course, this is available on YouTube if you guys want to look at it. Hey everybody, Rifkin and Zombie are up, coming at you with a couple of plans. Nope, I don't like that. That's already. Hey everybody, we want to explain to you some of the plans of this fundraiser, but we kind of have to make this the too long didn't read version because we want to put up a better video later. But as it's towards the end of the year, we want, time is of the essence type thing.
This huge offline tournament will be happening later in 2017. It's going to be a mega offline tournament that will incorporate some of the members from the house, as well as have qualifiers for other players to join in. And it's going to have the prize pool of $30,000, the key money that we're getting back.
So currently we've already invested in a team house in Korea. We've put the down payment on the house, which costs $30,000 US. The idea is in Korea, it's basically the biggest safety deposit you could do of all time, and we're going to get that money back after 1 year. This is pretty common practice, and in turn, the rent's low, so the players aren't going to be forced to pay too much, and again, we get that money back. We want to use that money to throw a really awesome tournament later, but we want to help the players living in the house get through the year a little bit easier, as well as try and fund this really awesome tournament. So kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. Now the goal of the house that we've invested in is it's going to house a couple of foreigners, a couple of Koreans, and hopefully just create an awesome training atmosphere for folks looking to get into WCS, into BlizzCon for 2017. We're going to have a lot of film content, we're going to have a lot of tournament content, a lot of awesome stuff coming out of the house. You've got players like Scarlet already in Korea moving in, you're going to have No Regret helping us do some of the content creation, and several Koreans who have yet to be locked down, as well as foreigners who cannot stay for the whole year, but folks who do want to come in for 2 to 3 months between tournaments and train the best they can in Korea. Now the last thing of this quick too long didn't read video to explain the fundraiser is we're using Matcherino instead of Indiegogo. They've partnered with us for a lot of things. They're going to help us support the tournament and do a lot of great stuff, like not costing us a bunch of fees to use their website and services. They're going to be contributing $500 every $5,000 raised, which we want to throw show matches and do fun, cool stuff with for you guys, the fans. But most importantly, and this is the the one drawback. You have to have an account on Twitch, you have to sign in, and you may or may not be able to pay too easily depending on what your payment method is. So, Zombie Grub and I have talked about it. We're going to basically suck it up, and until we reach our goal with this fundraiser, this massive hardcore goal, we're going to redirect all donations and tips through the channel, so through your regular stream donations, towards this fundraiser. We're super committed to trying to make this happen. So, if you want to pay but you don't want to log into Matcherino or you don't want to make an account, by all means, just use the regular donations tools on the actual Twitch page. They'll work the exact same way. So thank you guys in advance. I hope you can help us make this happen. There'll be a much better, cleaner, better explained video later, but we wanted to stop putting this off and just get the ball rolling.